Hey, this is Jon Acuff, and welcome back to another Jon Acuff Live. I'm gonna get eventually a better title for this because I think I'm gonna do it pretty regularly. So I'll come up with a title. I think we're gonna have like a cool thumbnail. I think we'll probably even have like a closing little like snippet video. We're gonna iterate. We're just gonna iterate. Gonna keep iterating. My YouTube guy was like, dude, we need to put a better thumbnail. And I was like, amen. I agree with you. So my goal of these is to share one idea and then answer a couple questions. And they go about 15 minutes long each, 15 around there. So here's the Post-it note. I'm going to write one idea and I'm going to write down. Here's the idea I'm talking about today. Fourth wall. It's backwards. I'll fix that. I'll iterate on that too. Fourth wall. That's one of my goals this year. One of my goals is to, let's do the ring light. Does my skin look better? I forgot to set the ring light. Oh, it's crazy of me. Let me get a little closer. I want to break the fourth wall more in 2021. I love having kind of weird, unique goals. I have a bunch of standard goals. I have a pretty long list of goals in this notebook. Like right now, if I open it up to my goal page, because I'm working on stuff, I'm workshopping, as it were. Let's see. I have 18 different goals for 2021. Some are one-time goals. Some are lifestyle goals. Oh, David Mike, it's not backwards to us. That's good to know. That says fourth wall. So one of my goals is to break the fourth wall more often. What do I mean by that? What I mean is that whenever I create something, it's very tempting for me to create it as a serious writer or a serious speaker or a serious thinker. Like I get into this space where I'm like, how should I write this book? How should I share this video? How should I do this? And I get really locked up with perfectionism. And I don't think I'm the only one that does that, because I think anytime you sit down to create something, whether it's you're going to be a photographer, whether it's you want to lose weight, whether it's you want to think about being a mom or a dad or a husband or wife, anytime you feel the word real come in, be careful. Anytime you go, what would a real dad do, or what would a real writer do, or what would a real runner do, or what would a real whatever do, I think you're in a dangerous spot where you're not going to really be yourself, and you're not going to really lean into your unique strengths, the things you're good at. You're going to play a role, and it's not fun to play a role. You don't get to be yourself, and you don't get to be fully creative. And so one of my goals this year is I want to try to break the fourth wall. And if you're not familiar with that phrase, the fourth wall is kind of the example I used yesterday was, when on Saved by the Bell, when like Zach Morris would turn and talk to the camera. So like he's talking to Kelly or Slater. He's like, hey gang, what's going on? We're at the Max. They were always going to the Max. As a kid, I was desperate for a hangout place. Like the Peach Pit and the Max were amazing. Central Perk, third. I've already named 3 places. Fourth, the Diner in Seinfeld. Every show had a central place. I didn't have a central place as a kid. And I was like, man, I could be like Zach Morris if I only had a place. Or who is the girl they added randomly for like one season? She was a tough girl. She wore a leather coat that she rolled up. Have you ever in your life seen somebody roll up the sleeves of it? Like that is some commitment. But Zach Morris would turn and talk to the camera. And so what happens is that when you create something, it's really tempting to build a really, really thick fourth wall where you're like, I got to be perfect. I got to look a certain way. I got to act a certain way. I got to do these things this way. And you never break the fourth wall. You never stop and go, wait a second. Hey, let me talk directly to you. Let me share an idea, because you end up playing a persona or a role. And sometimes you've been around leaders who are like that. Like you've been around, it could be at a company, like where there's a leader and they could be leading a small company. And you're like, this dude, this lady is not being honest. Like I would relate it to one of the lessons I teach is that old school leadership said, if I share my mistakes or my weaknesses, people won't trust my strengths. New school is, if I pretend I don't have weaknesses, people won't trust my strengths. I think especially this next generation, Gen Z, millennials, they can spot you being fake from a million miles away. But I'll be honest with you, it's tempting because you want to kind of control it. You want to look a certain way. So my goal is to break the fourth wall. That's part of why I'm doing these videos. I want to stop and go, hey, let's talk about what's really going on. Like, what are you really excited about? How can I help you? What's something that's working for me right now that I think would be interesting to you? What are questions I could ask? It was Tori. Tori was the Saved by the Bell tough girl. That's right. And I think I'm right that she rolled her sleeves up. of a leather coat. Again, I don't know who does that. So that's my goal for you today. I dare you to check yourself before you wreck yourself, obviously. But check yourself with your goal. Stop when you're in the middle of it. Go, wait a second. Am I playing the role or am I being myself? You see, people always give that advice. Like, it kills me when somebody goes, if you want to write a book, just like use your authentic voice, as if that's a thing you learn one day and then do forever. For me, my voice is slippery. I'm constantly grabbing and going, I got it. And then I start to write and it slips away again. I got it. And it slips away again. So like, if you want a physical step you can do to make sure you're being yourself or being honest with your voice or taking the kind of photos you want to do or building the kind of marriage you want to have, ask yourself, am I breaking the fourth wall or am I building the fourth wall? I think that's a good question for 2021. Am I breaking the fourth wall? Like, I'm knocking it down. I'm being an honest relationship. I'm creating things that are real in my voice, or am I building it? An example for me would be, I like to be funny. Like, I like to be funny. In my real life, I like to be funny. So then why, when I get on camera, do I feel this like intense pressure to be like, say something meaningful, like constantly say something? Like, that's not what I do with my family. Like, when we're joking around, that's not what I do. One of the bits that I'm currently doing, and it's funny to think that I have bits I do with my family, but let's be real, I 100% do. One of the bits is that I've told my family I'm going to become a knife guy. Like, I'm 100% going to become a knife guy. I probably opened that the wrong way. My brother, I have a younger brother named Will, I have a younger brother named Bennett, gave me a knife for my birthday. It is a Benchmade knife. And now I'm like, I'm in. I'm going to be a knife guy. I'm 100%. Like, that's what I do. Like, I'm going to be that guy that, like, I'm going to wear it like this. Like, when you see me, I'm going to be like, I think it goes like this. I'm going to be like, and I'm going to lead with that. I'm going to be like, oh, you need anything cut today? Cause I don't know if you're noticing that you got a box you need open? Like, if you have twine, does anyone have twine? Like, if you're ever in a situation, say we're at the same place and you're like, oh, because sometimes when you try to untie twine, it just tightens. Like, twine is a huge jerk. Twine is one of those things that just tightens on itself. So if you're ever in a situation like that and you're like, we can't get this twine opened up, I'll be like, don't worry. I got this right here. So now oh, Tony, look out, Smoky Mountain Knife Works. Is that the largest knife store in the world? Yeah. So every time, here's the story. There's a knife store in like Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge area, which is like Panama City in the mountains. And every time we drive by those signs, I'm like, do we have time to stop at the world's largest knife store? And no one in my family will go along with me. So the last time we went, my family went ahead of me. I had to work, just feeding the family, like just, giving. So they went ahead of me. I called from the road and I got my oldest daughter. I said, hey, can you ask your mom a question for me? And she thought, oh, this is going to be a serious question. And I said, ask your mom if she wants me to stop at the knife store by myself or if she wants to join me. Like, do we have time? Like, when did we want to go together? And my daughter just started cackling. So yeah, I'm going to become a knife guy. So that's my thing. Ask that question. Am I breaking down the fourth wall? Am I being honest? And am I communicating? Am I doing the photos I want to do? Am I raising my kids the way I want to raise them? Am I being honest? Or am I building up a fourth wall? Mine sometimes is like titanium. Like, there's just layers and layers and layers and layers and layers and layers and layers. And I think part of it is like, for me, once I built a platform, I was like, I got to maintain this exact platform. And then I started to do stuff that wasn't even in my voice. And so now I'm like, oh, 2021, I'm going to be like sledgehammering that fourth wall, like over and over and over again, which is why I'm doing these lives. So we got a couple minutes for Q&A. Are there any questions about anything? Margaret's back. Thank you, Margaret. Margaret's actually in the finish course, which I'm pumped about. The lowest price in the finish course ends Saturday. Finish course is 6 videos, beautiful workbook, a checklist, and text coaching. I've been text coaching, which is really, really fun. Like, I've started to dip my toes in it, and it's going to start on January 11th, where for a solid month, I'm sending you tips and like, hey, try this. What about this? So you'll hit your goal. All right. Todd said, how cool is it to see the September, January challenge Facebook group still going strong? Yeah. People are amazing. Like, the people that will join Facebook groups that are private, that are connected, that have real content, they do amazing things in them. So I love to see the work that's going on there. Birthday card in the mail. It's on Saturday. The joke I've been doing this week, it's such a dad joke. Like today, I was on Today in Nashville. It'll come out. It's a local NBC affiliate. And when we got off the Zoom with the host, her name's Carol. She's awesome. We were talking about how like it's crazy. It's already December. And I was like, isn't it crazy to think? And I think she thought, and I set this joke up this way on purpose. I was like, isn't it crazy to think that we're only 2 days away from my birthday? And I love jokes like that because she thinks I'm going to say, isn't it crazy to think it's already Christmas? And instead, I made it about my birthday. She laughed. Emily, yeah, your voice is kind of snarky. Yeah, you might find that. You might find out that as you kind of tear down your wall, you're like, oh, I'm snarky. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? Your husband carries 4 different knives on his pocket like that. He sounds like me. He's probably a knife guy. I think my next knife's going to be an Emerson. That's also a knife that is made. Now I'm going to know a ton about knives. Jenny is convinced I'm going to cut one of my fingers off. Not all of them, but at least one of them. So we'll see. The smart money is usually on Jenny. Twine is a real jerk. Yeah, that is a good tweet without context. Twine is, you know what? This is a live show. Travis, let's tell 288,000 people that. Let's see. I'll go to Twitter right now. If you guys follow me on Twitter, please retweet that just to confuse other people. Twine is a real jerk. All right. No context. Twine is a real jerk. All right. There we go. I just tweeted that. That'll be funny. Like, because some people will be like, they'll think like, is there a deeper meaning? Somebody will get angry because the internet loves to be angry. Somebody is going to be like, how dare you? How dare you, sir? I can't believe in 2020 you're making fun of twine. Like my grandfather started a twine factory, or I don't know how they make it. Maybe my grandfather was a twine farmer. He farmed twine his entire life. And here you are on Twitter saying twine's a jerk. If you follow me on Twitter, if you go retweet that, let's just cause maximum confusion. Elliot Ryan took the finish course. Awesome. Trying to increase the quality of my YouTube videos. I get it, dude. It's hard. I'm trying this because this plays to more of my strengths, like being able to interact with people. I really enjoy this. Just started reading Finish and prep for 2021. How does the original Finish course workbok mesh with the new 2020 Finish course videos? Mary Beth Edgecombe. It's a great question. So I really distilled it. The initial Finish workbook was like gigantic and massive. And what I learned over time were there were really 6 things people needed to do. If they wanted to finish their goals, there were these 6 things. So I really distilled it and said, I want to do a concentrated version of it. Because what I found is sometimes if you turn on the fire hose and you give people 1,000 ideas, they don't engage with them. But if I can boil it down and go, these 6 things matter, they'll actually do them. I can actually encourage them. Great question though. Travis, do you ever find yourself playing a role in your family instead of being real with them? Yeah, here's a sign that I'm being real with my family is my ability to apologize. Like when I have hurt my wife's feelings, when I've hurt one of my kids' feelings, when I've done something dumb or insulting, like my ability to say, hey, I'm sorry I did that. Like that's for me a sign that I'm being real. Not that I'm trying to be perfect, but that I'm being real. I read a book called Death by Suburb that I really liked once. And I'll never forget, he said, I was really, really hoping that I could figure out how to get over my anger. And instead, I just learned how to apologize really well. And I love that idea of like, okay, how do you what does it look like to apologize? So for me, yeah, I do think it's easy to play a role in your family. I think a sign I'm not playing it for me personally is my willingness to apologize to a kid, to a wife, not a wife, to my wife. I'm not apologizing to like a bunch of wives. That came off wrong. That's live. Okay. Tony, any advice for pushing through that? Let's see. I want to make sure I have that correct. Tony, let me scroll back up. No one in your family will go with you. Are you saying any way to push through that no one? Oh, tearing down the wall could mean loss of followers, right? Especially for those who have visual art Instagram accounts like me. People who expect laser focused accounts. Ooh, that's a good question. So Tony, you're constantly doing an ROI. I am anyway. I think about the ROI. I think about a couple of things. One, is this the relationship I've promised? Have I promised them this? For instance, I had a website called Stuff Christians Like. It was a satire of faith. I'm a pastor's kid. I grew up in the church. when I wanted to move into more motivational self-help goal setting, I didn't just jam that into stuff Christians like, because that would break the relationship. I told people, I promised them, if you come to Stuff Christians Like, you're going to get short, ridiculous, funny posts about faith. It would have broken the contract, the social contract, if I shoved goal setting into there. So I started a different site. That's why, like on acuff.me, that's what I write about. So I think you have to decide, does changing it break the social contract? Can I change it slowly over time? Can I introduce it? Do I need to start something separate? And then also, what's the ROI? So like for me, here's the last example. I love Lego sets. Like you see there, like Porsche 911 GT3 RS, Porsche 911, Bugatti, bunch of speed champions hidden in there. I love Lego sets. Like I find them really enjoyable. If all of a sudden I turn my Instagram account into a Lego account, I've broken the social contract. Now I'm going to share some funny things. I'm going to do the Lego advent calendar. I'm going to try to express this passion in the right way, but I'm not going to all of a sudden go, hey, by the way, you know how you sign up for my account? It's kind of all over the place, but it's motivational and helpful. Going forward, it's only for hardcore Lego nerds. So good luck. Like I wouldn't do that. So you kind of have to decide how you want to do it. All right. Really like the length of the new finished course. Thank you for saying that, Tom. I'll share. The lowest price ends Saturday night at midnight, which is my birthday. And what's going to happen is people are going to email me on Sunday and be like, hey, dude, I know it ended, but can I get the lowest price? And I'm going to have to go, I told everybody it ended on Saturday night at midnight. So here's the link. I just posted the link. If you're curious, check it out. Any chance of scheduling these lunch and learns instead of surprise events? 100%, Tom. That's a great question. One, like turn your notifications on. I don't do a ton of stuff on YouTube, so you're not going to get like 1,000 notifications from me. I promise. You won't be like, Jon Acuff, stop doing these. So one, turn your notifications off. Two, I'm going to try to get on a schedule. The way I launch stuff is I like to test the waters. Do I like it? Is it working? Hey, what am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? And then I make it more official. So I've done a couple of these. They've been fun. I'm enjoying them. I think that there's a handful of people that are having fun with them too. So I'm going to start looking ahead. When can I schedule some of these and make them more official, and it's easier to find them? And I think they're going to be at 12:30ish is probably the plan. All right. But thank you, Tom, for asking that. Let's see. Todd, finish has been huge for family member fighting anxiety. The principles apply just beyond goals. Cut the goals in half, choose with the bomb, make it fun. They apply to overcoming life anxiety. I'm so glad to hear that. And I can't wait for you to read soundtracks. Like my new book, Soundtracks About Overthinking, I think is going to totally help in situations like that. Like, we asked 10,000 people if they struggle with overthinking. 99.5% of people said yes. And this was before the cuckoo year we just had. Like, I don't know where you guys live. Like 2020 was bonkers. Like 2020 was catnip for overthinking. So I can't wait for you to check out that book. Comes out April 6th. You can pre-order now. I'll share the link next time. Mary Edgecombe, I accidentally bought 2 Harry Potter Lego advent calendars. That seems like a good problem to have. Kelly, the Lego advent calendar is hilarious. I think I should do the Lego advent calendar every year. Like, I think that's going to be a mainstay. I think, like, if you see me next December 2nd and I'm not doing Legos for Star Wars, please be like, what are you doing? Golden Berry, THM, loving the finished course, and the text coaching has been such a fun bonus. Yeah, dude. So I got this app called Community where I can text people. So like I can text them and go, hey, here's this book I'm reading. What do you guys think? And it feels old school. Like it feels like old school social media to me, where it's a handful of people and I got to really pour in. So if you sign up for the finished course, lowest price ends when? Saturday. There's text coaching, which I think is really awesome. Okay. Jay, I definitely go through times of analysis paralysis, interested to check out soundtracks. Jennifer, pre-order, thank you so much. Margaret, I love the dude that gets mad at you for calling all the Star Wars Legos wrong. Yeah, it's now just become a really fun game. Although I will say, like, I'll show you one of them. Like, I haven't put it together yet. Like, I didn't know what that was. Like, and it was a pod racer. And that was the movie that I liked the least with Star Wars. So like, I legitimately was like, I don't know what that is. And people were like, it's a pod racer. And I was like, I don't know how. I'm like, even when I saw the completed picture, I was like, I don't know what that means. So some of the time it's legitimately like, I've never seen that. Like sometimes when it's like an X-Wing, I'll just say, this is an X-Wing and it's awesome. Like, I'll show you my favorite one. Hold on. All right. Like that, that was one of the days, and like, pew, like that's cool. Like I was like, I know that one. Like that's awesome. Like I'll say that. But if it's something I don't recognize, I'm just gonna go in. I'm gonna go in on it. Yes, Andrew, please. iCal, December 2nd, 2021. Jon is doing Lego Advent Calendar. So the trick is like really in November, I got to order it because they sell out. Let's see. Tell me about the community text coaching, please. Oh yeah, Goldenberry. So that's the service I'm using. So the app I'm using is called Community to text coach people. It's an app called Community. It's fairly new. I think like celebrities had it for a while, and then they've rolled it out to like us commoners who have purple sweaters and striped couches in their room. So yeah, Community is the app I'm using it. I'm struggling to narrow down goals for next year. So many projects I want to do. Thoughts on how to focus. Yeah. So here's what I'd say, Kelly. Come up with a bunch. Give yourself grace to come up with a bunch. Have a huge list. I've got 18 on my list right now. I'll probably top out at like 30 or 40. But then remember, not all of them are all year goals. Like they're not. Like one of my goals is I want to have a team vision meeting. I need to set the vision for my small business. So I'm putting together an annual planning team vision meeting. That's a day. Like I know we are doing that on January 12th. So on January 13th, I get to go chick, chick. That's one of my goals. There's other goals where I'm like, I want to run 1,000 miles a year. That's an all year goal. So come up with as many as you want and then start placing them in the right parts of your year. That's kind of how I do it. And I go in knowing I'm not going to get them all done. I'm not. I'm going to have more than I can possibly do. And Jennifer Kenyon, I hope I said that right. Get the finish calendar. That will help. My finish calendar is right over there. I absolutely love it. Okay, I'm going to go through this last one. Ooh, Travis, which social media do you enjoy most and which one feels like a job? For me, like I miss Twitter. Like Twitter is the one that like I'm having a really hard time with. Not like hard time, like that's a little dramatic. I just bummed that Twitter isn't what Twitter used to be. Like it's not. And like I'm having a hard time with the way platforms are censoring right now and choosing what gets seen and who sees it and which voices they like and which voices they don't like. Like, and Twitter is like that for me. Like Twitter is just, so like I miss Twitter. That was the one that was like my first social media platform, and it's changed in ways that I just really don't love it. This format, a live format where I get to interact with you guys and joke and like the Twine thing, like that was awesome. Like that, I love stuff like that you could go, hey, you know, somebody on this could go, hey, you should tweet this. And then I tweet that and then we get to do it. And it's fun because then we get to say like, oh, you know, what if we told 288,000 people that Twine is a real jerk? Like that'd be funny. And then we did that. Like, that's funny. All right. Don't want the wall planner. What book size planner do you recommend? Leuchtturm has one. The notebook company I love, Leuchtturm, they have one. You can also try a bullet journal. Like bullet journals, a lot of people like planners. Michael Hyatt's planner is gorgeous. Like he has a great planner that a ton of people love. If you look up Michael Hyatt, Hyat, like I just Google that and like focus. If you look up that, you'll find it. Get the finish calendar. Elliot, my initial goal for YouTube was to get 100 subscriptions, but that goal is out of my control. What would be a better goal? So Elliot, I would say a better goal would be numbers of videos produced. You can control that one. You're right. Like I don't control if I hit the New York Times. I don't control certain amounts of sales or whatever, but I control the effort. So I'm a big fan of doing effort goals because you actually control those. So I would control how much time I spend on YouTube, how many videos I'm going to make, the consistency I'm going to do it at. That's how I think about it. Mary Beth, do you have a video showing how you use your bullet journal? I don't. I would say probably what I'm going to do is like a 90-day experiment, and then I'll do a video. I've used it so many different ways, and like, I don't think I've landed on a way that's helpful enough for me to go, this is the way I use it. That's the thing. Like when I wrote Finish, it wasn't the first day I had it. I worked on Finish ideas for years. Like the Finish course is from like years and years and years of going, this works, this doesn't work, this is dumb, this is too much, this isn't enough, this is fun, this is boring. So I'll probably do like 90 days with this guy, bullet journal, and I'll really work on it. And then at the end of the 90 days, I'll go, hey, this works, this doesn't work. TikTok is the limit. It feels like people can see your stuff. Twitter's become a dumpster fire. Yes. Yeah. So I carry around a Leuchtturm notebook. Like this is the one I carry around right now. This is the red one I carry around. I love it. It's dot grid. Just fantastic. Y'all give this a like. Yes, I know, Michael. Hi, thank you. You mentioned creating your own plan or journal to sell. Any progress? Yeah, so we're in discussions right now. I had a phone call with Leuchtturm. Like it's crazy. It's crazy to even say this. I had a phone call with the people that make this notebook that I've been bragging about for years and years and years and years and years and years. And so we're having a conversation about what would it look like if we did a partnership. And I'm thrilled. Like I love, like if you follow me at all, you know, like I'm so hardcore into this notebook. And so that would be awesome. And then the last thing I'll say, because we've gone a little over time, I want to become a Lego influencer. I got to figure out a way to get Lego famous enough, like not a lot, because these guys are amazing. I'm going to be like, okay, I just really want Lego to send me Lego in the mail. Like that would be, can you imagine? Like, can you imagine if you're at home and like, it's UPS, or you hear the sound of the UPS truck, that sound it makes, like, and all of a sudden you look up, there's a box, like there's this cool Lego box. And like somebody said, that's my dream. It's a weird dream. That's my dream. All right, Travis, I think the AirPod Pros are worth it. I've absolutely loved them. I hated them. Hated the idea of them until I actually tried them. Then I was like, dang, those are good. Those are good. Those are really, really good headphones. So remember, Finish course lowest price ends on Saturday at midnight. Here's the link. If you're thinking about it, this is the great time to go, yeah, I'm going to give it a try. So hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching these. I'm going to keep making them because they're really fun for me. And hopefully you get to learn, you get to laugh, and you get to know that, like, if you ever are like, I need something cut, like, look, if you're ever like, does Jon Acuff have a knife with him? I probably do. And if you have twine, I can take care of that. See you guys.